constitutional guarantee on pensions as does on public pensions, because public pensions, unlike private pensions, there's no federal law that protects public pensions. And for years, they were just subject to the whims of legislatures, and so 24 states, including Michigan, enacted constitutional guarantees saying that a public pension could not be, that once you accrued a pension, you were guaranteed that pension under the Michigan Constitution. And in Michigan, like I said, 24 other states have similar guarantees built in. In many ways, what's been at the core of the Detroit bankruptcy is the efforts of the big money to go after public pensions and to use Detroit to set a precedent all over the country to be able to say that those guarantees can be overturned and are preempted in federal bankruptcy court. And in fact, Jones Day, the law firm, wrote an article in 2011 promoting this idea. And of course, they're the ones now allegedly representing the city of Detroit. And as we know, one of the first things that occurred in this bankruptcy is that Judge Rhodes, who sits over the bankruptcy, said that the bankruptcy pensions were subject to being reduced, the public pensions were subject to being reduced under bankruptcy. And that's really what I think is the fight. In Detroit, we have banks that have made hundreds of millions of dollars in interest rate swaps and all sorts of corrupt deals against the city for being paid off. But the workers who work there are finding their pensions are subject to massive reductions. And while there's been a lot in the papers, sound like all these deals have been cut that essentially are going to protect these pensions, most of that is a bunch of garbage that is being put for public relations. In fact, even this latest deal subjects public pensioners not just to what begins with a 4.5% cut, it really ends up, according to Orr's papers himself, to be about a 30 to 40% cut in pensions. Because they're going after annuities that were paid by the workers, recovering going back 10 years to take back money that was paid to workers, and reducing the pensions an additional 15.5%. Eliminating cost of living protection for pensions, which amounts to another 10 to 15%, and also basically gutting the health care of the pensioners. So it's a big struggle right now, and there's tremendous pressure that has been put on all the organizations that represent the pensioners. Many of them have started to cave in under this pressure. But just last May Day, we had a great May Day demonstration in Detroit, where all the community groups, DREM, Moratorium Now, the Box Center, came out. And we took over the banks, we took over Orr's Hotel, we marched through downtown, we had a session all day, and it was led by many ways by the pensioners themselves who know that they got to fight. So we're in a big fight in Detroit.